Join Drs. Savanah Craig and Ronnetta Sartor as we navigate life beyond graduation. Real conversations about forging our own paths in our early years in our careers. There's a reason it's called practicing dentistry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond Graduation, the podcast. And Savanah and I are super excited to talk to you about self-care today. We are super joyous because Savanah has some news to share on a recent purchase that she made. And I can't wait for you all to hear.
My husband and I impulse bought a massage chair off of Facebook Marketplace. Okay, it was new in the box. It's not as sketchy as it sounds.
So what has your self-care routine been like now that you own this massage chair?
So I use it at least once a day. Got to get that return on investment.
There you go. You probably already got your money worth.
Yeah. Okay. It was a steal of a massage chair. But yeah, and I am super extra and was influenced by the Instagram reels, and I got a little Kindle stand, and so I sit in the massage chair with my Kindle, and that's just my me time. What's really nice, it's so bougie, it's so stupid. It does your hands. It has little airbags, so it does your hands. And so it keeps me off my phone. It's a solid 20 minutes that I'm not looking at a screen other than if it's my Kindle. But so that's actually been really good for me, is to be off my phone. And I feel like it's hard to phone detox without a reason to. So that's my 2 cents on my massage chair.
Well, that's great. That's really great. Yeah, I think this is a topic that we need to all talk more about in dentistry. Yeah. Dentistry is a very rewarding profession, but it can take a toll on our physical and our mental. You always hear about dentists who, at retirement age, their backs and their necks are so shot. You hear about dentists who have had multiple back surgeries, neck surgeries, just to be able to keep practicing. A lot has changed in terms of loops that we can get and chairs that we can buy. But even with all of those things, it can wreak havoc on our bodies and our mental. Some of the things that I have implemented in my early years, like my first three years or so, I didn't have back and neck stuff besides just at the end of the day, stretching and all that.
Yeah.
But I have realized that I need to stretch more. So I have been, it's something that's in my daily routine. Self-care also looks like once a month, a deep pressure massage when I have the time to go and have that done. It also looks like exercising, doing something to move my body.
That was a big one for me in residency, was learning how much I need regular strength training. It was super long-term, headaches and neck pain, and would go to the chiropractor pretty regularly, and we have one here in Columbus that we love a lot. But obviously I couldn't see her for the year I was in residency, right? I wasn't driving back.
Yeah.
But we started doing our program director's wife owned a gym, and we took her classes. And I was like, oh my gosh, my back and neck pain and my headaches are so much less now. And then when I came back to Columbus, the chiropractor was like, you feel better than you have, since I've known you in dental school. And I was like, well, one, I'm not a student and a dentist, which are probably the worst 2 things you could be for your back. But also, I feel like I've strengthened these muscles so that they're not, going in these positions that they shouldn't be in. They're stronger. So that was strength training has been unbelievably beneficial for me.
That's great. That's
But
awesome.
I think the other point you brought up is self-care, quote unquote, in dentistry is, I mean, in life in general for anybody is multifaceted, but
Mm-hmm.
the conversation that, so my mom's a hygienist, and I think she gets some joy now of like commiserating. She'll be like, yeah, like it's hard to put your body in these positions every day. Like there's such a physical aspect to dentistry, and like my hands are my lifeline, my eyes are my lifeline. Like a really bad headache sometimes can impact your vision. Like there are so many physical parts of this, and then also the mental portion of being in a caregiving profession. And you know, look back at our mental toughness episode, or forward, who knows how it's going to come out in the sequence. But you know, there's a mental component, and like you and I talk all the time of like the body is connected and like
Mm-hmm.
your mental stress impacts your physical body, and your physical pain impacts your mental stress. And we're in such a unique profession to hold all of those things at once that like, I don't know, I wish somebody had talked about that before I got this far in.
For sure. I think one of the things that worked really well for me is like as soon as I leave work, and you and I have talked about this, we give ourselves X amount of time to talk about the day, and then you have to cut it off. And um, typically for me, it's cut it off and then try to do a workout or something like that,
Yes.
because you get so focused, especially if you're strength training or anything that's a challenge
Yeah.
workout wise.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you have to use all your brain cells and your strength to focus on that for that duration of time. And then once it's over, you have all of the endorphins you need to be better. And if you don't, then, you know, there are things that you could do to care for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a good one of trying to combine the mental and physical benefits of all of these things as much as possible. And you know, I also think the irony of all of these things that are like good for you are things that get you the heck off your phone and out of a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important, but a really hard habit to break.
Yeah, I mean, it's 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 tough, but it's the new norm that, you know, technology is always with us. Like when I wake up in the morning, my Apple Watch is one of the first things I grab, because
Mhm.
I want to record all of the goodness I'm doing when as I'm moving my
Yeah. Yeah.
body.
Give me the rings. Give me the
Yeah,
credit.
right. Um, but I think, like you said, yeah, self care is important, because if you don't take care of yourself and you don't take care of your body, then you can't show up in the world for
Yeah.
the people that you love, for your patients, for your team. And so I wish that we talked about it more. We talk about it more, especially because in dentistry, we're not only, you know, the clinician or the provider, but we're also, you know, a leader.
A
Some of us,
therapist.
right, CEO. Some of us
Mhm.
are also our office manager, and you know, we just wear all these hats. And for the dentists that have children, that's a whole nother job before and after work. Especially if your kid is into sports or into anything extracurricular. It's so many plates spinning at a time. Um,
Yes. How has you know, obviously self-care I'm sure has changed in these various phases of life and how much time you have to do things. How has owning a practice either given you more or less time or freedom for these things? And then I think also maybe the phone piece. Do you feel like you are more beholden to, you know, you're planning a vacation next week, but are you going to be checking office emails? And, how do you separate all of that?
So what we typically do for vacations is we take it as a team. And so
Okay.
we'll let our patients know that we'll be completely unplugged for the week, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll get back with them as soon as we get back.
Do
I
you have
think
a friend that like sees your emergencies or?
I do. If
Okay.
it's we'll when she's on vacation, I try to do it, and
Yeah.
when I'm on vacation, she tries to do it.
Yeah.
Um, but from that standpoint, that's what we try to do. From a I would say I was able to unplug more as an associate initially. Um,
Fair.
because you and I both know I'm not like a social media person like that. So I would go through phases in dental school and as an associate where I would just like not be on social media.
Sure.
And now it's hard to some extent because the office also has social media.
Yeah.
And it's linked to like my personal pages. You know how social media works. And
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, well, I could let a member do it, but then they would have to have like my personal information too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's someone out there that's smart enough to know how to separate them. I just don't know how to. Um, but I think
DM us, please. Help.
yes, please let me know. Um, but I would say I am better in year 2 of practice
Yeah.
ownership than I was in year 1. Year 1, it was hard for me to juggle because I was a morning workout person, and then I felt that rather than working out, my time was better spent doing things for the practice. And then I went through trying to come home and work out after having such long days. Um, but also like on the weekends, still doing stuff for the practice, and then eventually feeling burnt out.
Yeah.
Um, from like just never giving it a rest. And
Yep.
so I think I am 100 times better. There's still room for improvement, but I'm better at putting the phone down, unplugging, doing the workout, taking care of myself. And if it's a really long day, even if that just means having an Epsom salt bath and
Yeah.
listening to some relaxing tunes. Um, but I will say I struggled with that transition from being an associate to being a practice owner. Um, and
But
so a lot of what you were saying, like, I pretty much have learned a whole lot of like, okay, I know I need to do these things, but I actually need to schedule the time for it. And I have been better for myself and for everyone else because of it.
I think those are seasons of life too. Like your practice needed your focus and you know, maybe you took it to the extreme, but no one can blame you. You know what I mean? Like you had to that was your baby. You had to get it off the ground, and I'm sure all of the work that you put in that first year now allows you the freedom to step away from it now. You know what I mean? Versus it's just a different season of life, and I've tried to give myself that grace too of like the routine that I had in residency might not be feasible now. It's just I work different hours, there's different life things, and just giving that flexibility to yourself. You don't want to be the stress to yourself in your self-care, right? Like
Yeah, I think those things come across to people whether you know it a lot or not. Like it comes across to your team, it comes across to your patients, and so the better your well-being is for yourself, I mean, it radiates.
yeah, we always said in undergrad like put on your oxygen mask first, and if you're not well taken care of, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. But what so you're a big routine person, and I'm envious of this. I want to have like such a specific morning routine so bad. I just haven't figured it out yet. I feel like I do good for a couple of weeks, and then like the past 2 weeks I was traveling on the weekends, and then I got in at midnight, and then on Monday I was like, I don't want to do anything, and then I just gave up for the entire week. Just not ideal. But what does your routine look like? How have you figured it out? How has it evolved?
I think I'm still figuring it out. It's not.
Okay, fair.
It's not that I'm there. I have not arrived yet.
In my perspective, I'm like, she's got it. She's
no,
figured it out.
It's constantly evolving.
Fair.
So I wake up each morning. I do some meditation. Sometimes I will work out. It just depends on the morning. I want to get back to like every morning, get my workout in.
Yeah.
But I try to do something, even if
What
it's
time do you get
just.
up?
So what time do I get up?
Tell the people.
I try to get up between 5 and 5:30.
Okay. All right. That's not bad.
And I try to be finished with my morning routine and out the door by 6:30, 6:45
Okay.
at the latest.
Okay.
But I have what I'm going to wear the next day out. I have whatever workout clothes I'm going to wear laid out. I have my bottled water laid out. I have everything that I'll need to go ready and ready to go. My afternoons do look different though. Most of the time during lunch, I try to have a meeting so that on Thursday, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday when we're off, those are things I don't have to do. So I try
Yeah.
to get it done during the week.
Yeah.
But my afternoons might look different. It might be that I'm going to the gym to get a workout in, or it might be I'm doing some sort of workout at home. And then after that, I'm most of the time in my garden doing, doing something, pruning or, you know, getting harvest. And
The world's
then,
biggest zucchini.
yeah, the world biggest zucchini. Yeah. And then, yeah, pretty much after that, I just start to unwind. And I love that the, technology and the phones you can set your bedtime and all that kind of stuff. So I have my bedtime set and my phone reminds me like, hey, it's time for you to start winding down. And then I
Yeah.
know, okay, I've got about 30 minutes to like wrap this up and get in bed and be done for the night. What about you? Do you have a routine or anything?
Um so mine's weird because I start late Monday, Tuesday. So I work 10 to 6 Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday I start at 8. And so trying to like ideally it would be the same routine all week, but it doesn't work out that way. I do like a group fitness class, so I try to do that Tuesday, Thursday. I would like to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but for some reason those classes fill up faster than I can book them. So that's the other piece of this is that's out of my control a little bit. But so I like to do that workout in the morning, and then, on Tuesday, the workout's usually like 5 to 6, then I can do, other random tasks before I have to go to work at 10. So I like that morning time, but then obviously Thursday, Friday, it's a little bit more rushed.